We are following the very latest on the incident that ended with 7 San Antonio police officers injured. We're getting answers about the suspect, his background, and the charges he was facing before the shooting. Here's where things stand right now. This is a look at the suspect who we're told opened fire on officers and was later found dead by police. He's been identified as 46-year-old Brandon Poulos. You're looking at his mugshot from an arrest on family violence charges just this past Saturday before he posted bond and was released from jail. Also new tonight, the very latest on the conditions of the officers who were hurt in this incident. As of today, 6 of the 7 officers have been released from the hospital and are heading home to recover. We're told one of the officers does still remain in the hospital but is expected to make a full recovery. The officers involved have between 4 to 8 years of service with the department. We have asked for their names, but so far that information has not been released. We've also learned more about the suspect's background, including the criminal charges that he was facing. News 4 San Antonio's Mariah Medina joins us live with what we know so far and the questions we are still working to get answered. Mariah?
Well, Jonathan, we know this all started with a call for a suicide in progress. A relative of the suspected gunman, Brandon Poulos, called police just before 8:30 yesterday. The officers that initially responded to the call were shot by Poulos, a witness capturing some of that gun battle on camera. Officers taking fire and returning fire at a Stone Oak apartment complex that quickly became the scene of an hours-long standoff with the gunman, 46-year-old Brandon Poulos. By early Thursday morning,
6 others subsequent to that were shot as well.
A total of 7 officers had been shot, and the suspected gunman dead. Chief William McManus saying it's unclear if he took his own life or if he was shot by SWAT officers who had spent hours attempting to get him out of the apartment in which he barricaded him. Days before the overnight gun battle with San Antonio police, law enforcement had arrested Poulos on charges of assaulting his elderly in-laws and his spouse when they confronted him about his drunkenness, records show. Police say he drove off after the assault and crashed his vehicle, netting him a charge of DWI second offense. He was released a day later on January 19th on bonds totaling $35,000 with conditions including a prohibition on possessing guns. Though Poulos, seen here in this doorbell camera video from Wednesday, clearly didn't follow that condition. Court records show his case was referred to Veterans Court this week, and online court records state Poulos was also referred for a mental health evaluation. And we did reach out to the Bexar County District Attorney's Office to ask what bond amounts they'd recommended for Poulos. They say they requested bonds totaling $40,000. A magistrate judge ultimately setting bonds for $5,000 less than the recommendation. And late this afternoon, we did confirm Poulos had 10 years of service in the Navy before separating in 2008. Reporting live in the Content Center, I'm Mariah Medina.
Mariah, thank you for the update. We've also learned the suspect had ties to the Comal County area. Here's what we've been able to find out so far. Poulos placed a suicide call on Tuesday night at a residence in Comal County near Canyon Lake. Deputies say that Poulos threatened law enforcement and suicide, but never showed a gun or stepped outside the home. Now, that led to the Comal County sheriffs having no reason to arrest him, we're told. It was only later when deputies discovered that Poulos was violating a protective order that his arrest warrant was issued. But when deputies returned, he was gone. We'll have much more on this angle of the story for you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. So what else do we know about the suspect involved in this case? Well, we spent the entire day trying to find out as much as we can about him. News 4 San Antonio's Stephanie Esquivel joins us now with a little bit more on the suspect's personal life. She joins us live. Stephanie, what do we know?
Well, Jonathan, this address here at Stone Oak is not the address that is listed for Brandon Poulos. It's actually the address that is listed for his mother. Earlier today, we did speak to her here at the apartment complex. Now, when we learned Poulos had a previous run-in with his father and mother-in-law, I immediately drove to their house. Brandon's wife was there and answered the door. She confirms that Brandon was a veteran who served in the Navy. Records show he served 10 years, as Mariah mentioned. She's still visibly shaken by the incident and didn't want to comment or go into detail, but I did learn Poulos is a father. I also drove to the address listed for Poulos' brother, but was unable to reach him. Through Poulos' social media, we learned he graduated from MacArthur High School in the late 90s and he liked riding motorcycles. I did reach out to friends who commented on Poulos' pictures. One person did get back to me. They didn't want to go on camera, but did tell me Poulos was a good person and lately had been struggling with mental health issues after running into some family trouble. Now, earlier today when we did speak to Poulos' mother here at the apartment complex, she also did not want to comment. Neighbors tell us they have seen Poulos several times before, but he mostly kept to himself and they never noticed anything unusual. Reporting live in Stone Oak, Stephanie Esquivel, News 4, San Antonio.
All right, Stephanie, thank you for that. We have posted last night's news conference along with other coverage from this shooting on our News 4 YouTube page. You can also watch our live coverage and any other stories at any time. Just go to YouTube and search News 4 San Antonio.